Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Williams Return to Glory. In this episode, we are going to Zandvoort and also Spa-Francorchamps. Looking at our pit crew here, we're going to just do some rotation real quick, and hopefully we can go from second to first. Alright, so we've gone through and rotated our crew. We hired one new person, B. Willie. Alright, so from the part design screen, we're going to build a front wing. We just got our new engine in, but we're not going to see that until after we get the reliability done. Yeah, so this will be our new front wing, and it'll be done for the next race. Alright, so from the mail screen, we got stuff about the last race. Got Ferrari, Tops Practice, Leclerc on pole. Then we have an interview with the race. Lewis Hamilton's agent has been telling reporters all over town that you're interested in signing Klein up next season. Is this true? Of course, we're going to do what we usually do and say absolutely. So they have the trait where they are open to discussing terms with us. We also have something here. Next 4 weeks, Albon's going to have a dislocated shoulder, so we're going to have to think about that before heading to our next race weekend. Right, so from the part improvement screen, we're just going to have the new engine that just came in. It's a 1389 and a 1489 cap, so it should be better than our current best engine. These will be the last two engines that we put in the cars, so we'll put this on Vettel's car for the rest of the year. And once this is done, we'll have the front wing end that we can focus on. That's why I have it all over to reliability at the moment. Alright, so from the part design screen, we're going to build another front wing. It looks like we're just going to go down this fairly quickly, put a bunch of front wings on the car, and then we will move on to our next part. But this will be done one day after the race, so hopefully this will be done for the next round at Zandvoort. Alright, so from the part improvement screen, we have the new engine and the new front wing. We're going to focus on the reliability of the front wing, just so it's done before the race. It says one day after the race, but the reliability should be high enough to where we can put it on the car. Alright, so getting ready for the Belgian Grand Prix, we have a choice to make. Albon is injured. We can leave him at home and he'll recover faster, or we can go with our reserve driver. Since Albon has so many, he's got so many stats that are being hurt by the dislocated shoulder, we're just going to put Theo Pourchaire in the car for the weekend. So we're going to give Pourchaire his F1 debut for this week and potentially even next week, just to help Albon recover. So we're going to go with Ponos. We're going to go with the 15-10-10. And I decided to put all the good parts onto Vettel's car while Pourchaire kind of learns F1. So this will be just kind of a tester for him, but he's going to be in the worst equipment. We're going to put all our bets on Vettel for this race, and if we need to put Pourchaire in next race. So anyways, on to Belgium. Alright, so getting ready for practice for the Belgian Grand Prix. We're going to put Pourchaire in the car for this whole weekend, so this will be his, I guess, third or fourth practice outing with us, and he's also going to race with us. So this is going to be our handling, our setup, but we're going to focus on the soft tire, and then hopefully we can get another dry compound, but we're going to skip through practice. Alright, so following practice for the Belgian Grand Prix, we had Theo Pourchaire in 9th, and we had Sebastian Vettel 2nd. Top of the board was Charles Leclerc. Alright, so getting ready for qualifying, we were able to get level 2 on the super soft tires in the qualifying trim. We're just going to send both drivers out on worn tires just to get a read on the setup, and then we are going to send them out for their flying laps. Alright, so Sebastian Vettel comes around the final corner. He's going to start his flying lap. Alright, he's up first sector. Well, he's going to be up because he hasn't set a lap yet. We're just going to see where he ends up. He goes 8th. Pourchaire goes 16th. Alright, so Pourchaire is going to start his lap. We have to make sure that Vettel gets across the line. And he will. Alright, we're going to see where Pourchaire ends up. He's down his first sector. Vettel's up his first sector. Pourchaire's down second sector. Okay, we're going to switch over to Vettel. We're going to see where he qualifies, and he goes 8th, but he improves. Alright, so getting ready for the Belgian Grand Prix. We're going to put both guys on the soft tire and race trim. With the 33 laps, the super soft tire will not last. And this is the tire we focused on during practice, so we should hopefully get these over that midway point. Don't think that's going to be too much of an issue, and then we are going to be able to just do a very easy one-stop. Setup-wise, got perfects on everything. I believe this is 98, that is 99. This is going to be our driver strategy, and we're going to move on to the starting grid. Alright, so your starting grid for the Belgian Grand Prix is Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Carlos Sainz, Lando Norris, Pierre Gasly, Sergio Perez, Sebastian Vettel, Guan Yu Zhou, George Russell, Valtteri Bottas, Yuki Tsunoda, Dennis Hauger, Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon, Teo Pourchaire, Daniel Ricciardo, Kevin Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, and Lance Stroll. Alright, so we've got the 5 red lights. Looks like we're the first person on the alternate tire. Vettel looks slow off the line. He's going to drop all the way down to 11th. He's down to 13th, 14th, 13th. Alright, nope, all the way down to 15th. We got Pourchaire all the way up in a 10th, so that's good for him. Looks like we're going to push to about where the tires are getting hot, and we're going to jump down onto neutral. Alright, we're going to put both of them onto neutral. Alright, hopefully both of these guys can get their tire temperatures down. So I thought that that was going to be able to hold fairly easily. Alright, looks like their temperatures are holding. They're not really going up. Nope, they are going up. Dang it. Alright, so we're going to conserve them for a lap. And put them on neutral. Alright, so we got Vettel in 14th, and we got Pourchaire in 15th. We had Vettel who just moved up into 13th. Looks like we're going to have to go on to conserve here with Vettel. Just to keep some of that tire temperature out. Alright, looks like the strategy here is to go from the super soft onto the soft tire, so we are at a bit of a disadvantage to everyone ahead of us, as we have fallen off of our original grid slot of 8th for Vettel, so we're going to have both of them go back onto medium, too high up in the engine mode. Alright, so we just get to put them on neutral, and we're just going to see what they can do here. So 17 is the crossover point to where we can easily just pit onto another set of soft tires. I'm debating on staying out, hopefully catching like some sort of caution, or maybe even pitting onto the super soft tire. So I believe that's what we're going to do. Alright, looks like Perez is going to pit here soon. Looks like we will hop ahead of Perez, as he's going to pit onto preferably a harder compounds. Actually, looks like we're going to do the soft tire, actually. Alright, we're going to pit Vettel onto the soft tire. We're going to let him go to the end, but we're going to keep Pourchaire out, and we're actually going to make Pourchaire conserve. And then we'll put him onto the super soft tire and just see if we can get that to work for him. Right, Vettel is now up to 15th. Pourchaire is in 12th. We're going to keep him going at least one more lap. And then we are going to pit him. How long can those things last? So these say 22. We only made these last about 17. These can go about 13, 15. Okay. We're going to pit him, and we're going to have him conserve out of the box. Alright, we had a mistake. That's unfortunate. So we're just going to drop those temperatures for share. And we're going to keep an eye on Vettel here. Alright, we're going to do a little bit of tire management. We're going to conserve and then push Vettel. So we're going to have him conserve here just for a little bit. And now we're going to push. Alright, we're going to allow Porsche to push just a little bit just to get his tires in the window. Alright, now we're going to put him back on neutral. See Vettel's into 11th. He's now down to 12th as he gets passed by Bottas. Alright, looks like the tire temperatures are going up, so we're going to conserve. Alright, now we're going to push with Vettel. Alright, Schumacher has crashed out. Alright, Porsche is just kind of holding steady where he is. Got 3 laps remaining. We're actually going to just let him push just to say screw it. Alright, Vettel is up into 10th. Alright, we're going to need him to conserve right now because we need to conserve fuel as well for both of these cars. We need to get them down to at least like 0.7 or something with a little fuel we have left in these cars. Alright, we're going to have them both going in medium. Looks like they're good now. Okay, Porsche's used up his tires a little bit. Alright, we're going to keep an eye out here, and we're going to let Vettel push to the end of the race. I don't think he's going to get Alonso. Alright, we're starting the final lap here. We're going to let Porsche go neutral. He's got to stay ahead of 16th place Ocon, who's on fresher tires. And Vettel's going to cross the line in 10th. Alright, so following the Belgian Grand Prix, we had Porsche in his F1 debut finishing 15th. We're actually able to get Vettel into the points ahead of Bottas and get a single point out of the race, so that's good for us. Unfortunately, Alonso got ahead of us in the Alpine, so Alpine stretch us by a single point. The rest of your points is Perez, Russell, Gasly, Norris, Sainz, your podium, Hamilton, Leclerc, and your winner, Verstappen. Alright, so looking at your drivers' standings, we add Porsche to the list of drivers that are in F1 this year. So we now have 6 drivers at the bottom who have not scored a point. Very unlikely for Porsche to do so. Looking at Vettel, Vettel stays ahead of Alonso. Alonso gains a point on Vettel, and we don't have much movement, but Hamilton is now within 3 races of Leclerc, and I think Verstappen is as well. Looking at the team's championship, we are now tied with Alpine, but we are now ahead. We are still ahead of Alpine, so hopefully in the next race we're able to add a little bit of distance between us and Alpine. Alright, so leaving Belgium, we're going to lose $211,000. So from the pit crew screen, we're just going to go through, do some rotation real quick. Alright, so we've gone through and we've rotated people. Does not look like we were able to hire any new people. And our mistake percentage on this fixing slot is a little bit too high, but unfortunately there's nobody to hire to kind of slot in. That's better. From the part design screen, we're going to design another front wing. Looks like we're going to actually be able to put this one on the car before the race. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get the reliability though for it. So from the mail screen, we have stuff about Spa, Leclerc, car condition update, and then a interview with the F1 magazine. What are your thoughts on Max Verstappen? Exceptional talent. And yep, we get the perk. He's opening discussing terms with us. Alright, and it looks like as well, we have a thing from Theo Porsche, or Teo. I don't know if it's Teo or Theo or Theo. I think it's Teo. Theo Porcher, saying that he's listening to offers. So I think us putting all the good parts on Vettel's car has upset him. So maybe we're going to look at another reserve driver for next year. Right, so from the parts screen, we have just added the new front wing. Considering that we're going to get another front wing immediately before the race, that's going to be better than this front wing. We're no longer going to focus on this wing at all. Yeah, so we're going to focus on getting the reliability done on this. We'll get some performance done on this, and then we're going to throw on that new wing on reliability just before the race. Alright, so if any of you guys remember, last episode I decided to not put these new sponsors on the car just to have it go through 3 races and kind of come up with some new ones, hoping that we would get a 4-star sponsor. Unfortunately, we did not. We only got 2 and 3 stars. Rokit can't hit the goal. I think it's K Archer or Karcher. We were unable to hit the goal and it doesn't pay enough. So unfortunately, we're going to have to go with Herms, which is a 23 race deal. This will help kind of pad our pockets a little bit, but we got some sponsors that we are going to go for next race that are going to expire. Gallagher, which is here, and Sealmaster that are going to expire, and I have an idea. So looking at our current drivers, we have Porcher and we have Albon, who are running low on contract. Albon is currently injured, but looking at his driver marketability, he's got 65% marketability, and he's got his shoulder, which is going to be injured for at least another 2 weeks. Looking over at Porcher, he's got a low morale, but he's got 85% marketability. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to promote Porcher just for this next race to hopefully boost our marketability to where we can get some 5-star potential sponsors in our sponsors tab. So we're going to promote Porcher right now. Back on the sponsors tab, you can see we have 95% marketability and we have 5-star potential. So hopefully at the end of this race and the start of the next episode, we should see some 5-star sponsors here. Alright, so we have a vote from the mail screen. It's about instituting refueling, so we're going to vote on that. I think this is something I'm against, so I'm going to vote against it with just 2 voting powder. We're going to skip to end. Alright, unfortunately, it goes through. I don't really like doing refueling, but I guess we're going to have to do it next year. Alright, so for those interested in the Formula 2 standings, we are going to look at the Formula 2 results where Robert Kubica wins the F2 round. You have Frederick Vesti and Nick Tandy on the podium. I will slowly scroll through the results so you can see where people finish. And looking at the Drivers' Championship, Dan Ticktum has a 10-point lead over Jehan Daravala. Right behind him, you've got kind of a top 4 group here. And then you've got a big pack all the way down to 18th. I'd say that's from 5th to 18th. Iwasa's a bit far off from Bolik Balasi. But yeah, with just kind of the point spread, I'd consider that. Consider this an entire pack of cars here that are just all over each other. And then at the bottom, you've got Ollie Coldwell, who's a bit off. And then you've got everyone else down here at the bottom. Looking at the team standings, ART has pulled out to a 32-point lead. So they have built a fairly substantial gap. Not insurmountable, but a fairly substantial one. You've got High Tech and Prema together, 2nd and 3rd. And then, yeah, you've got a decent pack, 4th to 9th. And then you've got Charus and Campos at the back doing whatever they're doing badly. Alright, so looking at your Formula 3 results, you've got James Headley, you've got Alexander Smolyar, and then you've got Maximilian Gunther all on the podium. We're just going to scroll through the results here so you can see where people finish. looking at the championship, you've got Nico Hulkenberg, 13 points over James Headley. And they've got a big gap between those two to Lucas Grassi. And then we've got I would consider this another big pack from third all the way down to about 14th. Even then, I'd say Neil Yanni is kind of close to Crawford to where I'd consider it maybe even a 17th to 3rd kind of pack with Foster at the bottom with 0 points. Looking at the team's championship, you've got Carlin and Campos close to each other, and then you've got ART and Prema close together, but not close enough to Campos. You've got Van Amersfoort kind of by themselves in the middle here, and then you've got Charouz, High Tech, Trident, and Genzer all in the back kind of fighting together. This is a little bit more spread out than I thought it would be for F3 though. Alright, so from the part improvement screen, we have gone with improving the newest wing that we've got in. It's 1403 and 1453. I don't think this is going to get done before the race, but we're going to go on and design a new front wing. Alright, so from the part design screen, you see that we have our new front wing. It's going to be 1428, 1478. It's going to be down with the red zone, which is cool. So we should have this done. I'm not sure it's going to be done before the next race, but we're going to build it anyways. Alright, so a big development here for Alfa Romeo. It looks like Valtteri Bottas has left Alfa Romeo mid-season to go to Toyota Gazoo in WEC. So he leaves there, meaning that at Alfa Romeo, they promote Robert Schwartzman to the main team. So Alfa Romeo have two strong. I think they're both pay drivers. Yep, financial backing for Guan Yu, and then you've got financial backing for Schwartzman. So they're going to be rolling in cash, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who they sign and whether or not they're going to sign a main driver to the team. Alright, so getting ready for Zandvoort, we're going to leave Albon at home. We're going to try to remember after this race to promote him back to the main team. Looking at our sponsors, we're going to put Ponos on the car. This is going to be our tire selection. And I didn't do too much to Pourchaire's car. I kind of just switched him up to the new spec front wing, which was less than Vettel, and he was pretty happy. So yeah, he's no longer sad about his setup after I did that, and Vettel is now happy. So we're gonna move on to the Dutch Grand Prix. All right, so getting ready for practice at the Dutch Grand Prix, we're gonna go with we're gonna go with Pourchaire and Vettel for this, since we do not have Albon available for this weekend. This is more than likely going to be Pourchaire's final race for the team. As the first driver of the season, we're going to put Albon back in the car. This is going to be the setup. We're going to focus on the soft tire, and we're going to skip through practice. Alright, so following practice from Zandvoort, we had Pourchaire in 13th, we had Vettel in 9th, and then top of the board was Charles Leclerc. Alright, so getting ready for a wet Zandvoort qualifying, we're going to have a window right about, you see where the rain kind of drops off after that 6-minute mark. We're going to send Vettel out just to kind of get a read on his setup. We have to change one thing just a little bit to get it perfect. And then, yeah, for our knowledge, we have level 3 super soft and we have level 3 quality trim. Got 98% on Pourchaire, and we're going to move on to qualifying. Alright, Pourchaire starts his lap, and it looks like we're going to get a fairly dry run here, so we're going to have a pretty good lap going. Hopefully we're able to finish before the rain comes, and we do. Alright, so getting ready for the Dutch Grand Prix. We're going to go with soft tires level 3 for both cars. It is a 38 lap race. I'm hoping that we can get them both to lap 19, and we can just pit them straight on the soft and head straight back out, but that might be a questionable task. Car setup, got 99 on Vettel, we got 98 on Pourchaire. This is going to be our strategy here. We're just doing the attack just to get the tire temperatures up as quickly as we can, and then we're going to put them on neutral and then hopefully kind of hold them there for the rest of the stint. But we're going to move on to the starting grid. All right, so your starting grid for the Dutch Grand Prix is Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel, Lando Norris, Sergio Perez, Lewis Hamilton, Theo Pourchaire, Pierre Gasly, Robert Schwartzman in his first F1 start, Fernando Alonso, George Russell, Esteban Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda, Guan Yu Zhou, Dennis Hauger, Kevin Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, and Lance Stroll. Alright, so we got the 5 red lights. We are the only cars in the top 11 with the harder compound, so hopefully we're able to maintain here and get some of this tire temps up. Vettel holds 5th, so that's good for him. We need to continue to push these tires just to kind of get that temperature up. See how hard it's taking him to kind of go up in temperature. So we're going to now go on to neutral, and then we're going to hold high engine mode, and hopefully these tires don't get too cold. Alright, we're going to watch Vettel here. We're going to see what Vettel can do. We've got Schwartzman all over the back bumper of Vettel. Schwartzman in his F1 debut. Pourchaire drops down to 9th. Vettel is in 6th. Hopefully these tire temps can keep it up, but it looks like they're dropping pretty rapidly, so we might have to go to a 2-stopper instead of a 1-stopper. Alright, just got to pay attention to our fuel. When that thing hits about, I'm going to say 0.8, we're going to switch them over to neutral. The engine mode. See Schwartzman's kind of falling off the back of Vettel here. Pourchaire is holding 9th pretty well, so it'd be pretty shocking actually if we can get Pourchaire in the points before we can get Albon in the points. So you can see their tire temperatures are getting too cold, so we're gonna have them push, just to kind of push them up into that range. And I think we're at the point now that we might have to abandon the 1-stopper potentially. Okay, we got low fuel delta. I was not paying attention. I do this pretty much every episode. Hopefully they're able to save that much fuel over this run. Alright, now we're gonna let them push. It's best for them to use up the tires now instead of later. Alright, we are P6. We've got Hamilton pitting onto the softs. Our P5 currently with Hamilton gonna catch us and pass us quite quickly. Yeah, we're just going to push these tires out. It looks like we're going to box Vettel this time. So Vettel is in 3rd. We're going to push him onto the softs. And then we're also going to pit Pourchaire onto the softs. Then we're going to let them both push out of the pit lane and then go onto neutral after they almost overheat their tires. They're fairly close to getting that 1-stopper, but I just didn't want to drop them down into the cold temperature. Probably should have done that with Pourchaire, but yeah, Vettel in 6th, so good job for Vettel. We need Pourchaire to start gaining positions quickly before we kind of get screwed over here in the long run on the strategy. Looks like we're going to potentially look at pitting onto the super soft the next time, so we're going to go both neutral on both of our cars. Looks like Carlos Sainz has a very, very big lead. Looks like we're going to save some fuel too. It's because we're a little too hard on the tires. We have Perez coming up behind us. Coming a lot faster. Okay, we're going to save until we hit about 0.4, and then we're going to go on to neutral. Pourchaire looks like he's on the cusp of being able to take advantage of some pit stops here. We're going to switch them both over to neutral or medium. I always get these engine mode and tire crap mixed up. So Vettel holding steady in 6th, ahead of Perez, which is very impressive. There we go. Both cars about to drop pretty low on the tire temperatures. And now we're going to make both of them push. And for Pourchaire, this should come at an opportune time for him to gain some positions here on the pit stops. He is not too far off of Ocon. Actually is pretty far off of Ocon. So we're just going to have them push until the end of the run here. And then we're going to look at putting them onto the Super Soft. How did everyone else make those last? They lasted about 11 laps, so we're going to go on to the Super Soft. Alright, we're going to pit Vettel this time onto the Super Soft. Looks like Pourchaire is doing an okay job with his tires. We're going to let him attack into the box. We're going to do the same for Pourchaire. Pourchaire, we're going to pit you onto the Super Soft. Alright, we're going to watch Vettel in this lap. And then we're going to have him go on to push. We're going to watch Pourchaire on this lap, and we're going to have him go on to push as well. Alright, 7 laps to go for Vettel. I'd say he's fairly comfortable in 7th place. Just need to keep an eye on these tires. We can have Pourchaire push. I think he is not going to be in danger of Sainz pitting and then not coming out ahead of him. Alright, we have both cars kind of a little too high up on the temperatures, not paying attention that much. So we're going to have both conserve. We're actually going to have Pourchaire conserve, hopefully conserve into the Ferrari, who's coming up quickly. And then we're going to put him onto push. And we're going to do the same for Vettel. As Vettel looks like he is a little bit under pressure from car behind. So he's going to go on attack, and we're going to let him push. We're going to watch see what Vettel's doing here. How far back is George Russell? Alright, looks like George Russell is good. Alright, we're starting the final lap for Vettel. I think we're going to just have him go on to neutral. High. We're going to have Pourchaire go on push and overtake. We're going to keep an eye on Vettel, who's on the final lap currently. We're going to have him go medium on the tires. Alright, looks like Pourchaire finishes. So he finishes 16th, unfortunately. And Vettel is going to come across the line in 7th. Following the Dutch Grand Prix, we had Pourchaire finishing in 16th place. Potentially, maybe should have had him conserve, go into the cold range of the tires, and then stretch them to 19, then do a one-stop. But besides the point, I don't think we're going to put him back in the Williams the rest of the season. So we're going to put Albon back after he recovers. He was just there to kind of help us get some sponsorship and kind of cover over Albon's absence. Looking at your points, you got Alonso, Gasly, Russell, Vettel finishing 7th, getting 6 points, which is awesome. You got Perez, Norris, Verstappen, and then your podium, Hamilton, Leclerc, and your winner, Carlos Sainz. So looking at your Drivers' Championship, Pourchaire is going to drop all the way down to the bottom, I guess, on an average finish. So we now have a bigger group at the bottom who've not scored points. It's gone from 6 to 7 who've not scored points this year. Vettel extends his gap over Alonso. He's getting a lot closer to Gasly, so Vettel's looking very, very pretty here for the rest of the season. I think Russell is way out of reach, but Gasly, if we can finish ahead of one McLaren, that's going to be a hell of an achievement. Lando Norris moves ahead of George Russell. They've been going back and forth pretty much the entire season. Hamilton now is exactly 3 races behind of Leclerc. Verstappen drops outside of the 3-race gap that he had, so now he is 4 races behind of Leclerc. Looking at the Constructors Championship, we have Red Bull in second place. I've not really been giving too much attention to the top teams in the Constructors, but um, yeah, 124 point difference between Ferrari and Red Bull. Red Bull and Mercedes are going back and forth pretty much every weekend. So McLaren, we're about to pass one of their cars for points. So that's going to be awesome to see if we can do that. We have extended our gap over Alpine to 5 points now. So hopefully we can continue to stretch that gap. Looking at the bottom here, you've got Alfa Romeo 4 points, Haas 4 points still. Their gap behind AlphaTauri is a little bit too much for them to gain. And then Aston Martin at the bottom with no points at the moment. Alright, so following the Dutch Grand Prix, we are going to gain $88,000. Alright, so finishing up the episode, we scored points in both races, which is good. Vettel extends his point scoring streak to now 9 races. Our last race that we didn't score points in was Spain. So hopefully we can make that 10 next episode. We had Albon getting injured. We had to put Pourchaire in the car. In between races, Bottas decided to move to the WEC. So now he is no longer on the grid, and they promoted their reserve driver, Robert Schwartzman, to the seat. So that was very interesting to see, and hopefully we can see one of the 2 remaining Alfa Romeo drivers score points. So the guy who's actually not in the team is not the only point scorer. So yeah, that was a pretty good episode. A lot of things going on, a lot of development, and just a lot of stuff going on. I don't think we're gonna have an episode where we have all this movement outside of the first episode of a season. So if you enjoyed today's episode, like, comment, subscribe, all that dumb YouTube stuff, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.